Hello and welcome to today's video. This is a Carthago Malibu charming camper van, 636 centimeters in length, and it comes at a cost of 75,000 euros. As you can see, it's got a tent in the back, and for that money you do of course get something a bit out of the ordinary. So where to get this price from? Well, it's largely not the base price, which is here, 61,390, but rather with all these extras which have been put onto it. The most expensive of which is, as quite often, it's the engine upgrade and the automatic gearbox. So they are often what puts the price up. But at the same time, I do need to point out that this often is delivery is an extra as well. Right, ready to go, 2,870, or empty weight, even better, 2,685. So that's 800 kilos of payload, quite a lot. So the idea of putting this tent in the roof is something which has been introduced for the 2022 season. So as far as camper vans go, it is a little bit out of the ordinary. Let's have a look up here to start off with. If I put my foot on the ladder, you can see into the tent. Bear in mind, it is a tent, and in the winter it does get a bit on the cold side in here. Another feature up here, lift this up, and under it we've got this netting type structure. I've also got the same thing in my van, and it works wonders for keeping out mold and things. And as has now been the fashion for a couple of years, there's a net in here too. So now let's come down again. The thing is, I would say to people, unless they're absolutely certain, don't bother with the tent, because the tent is a pretty expensive item in all cases. Right, so at the front here, it's pretty elegant. Table's relatively okay for a vehicle of this size, and it can be extended by a little bit. Keep the corridor free by putting the fridge in here. Good place for the fridge in my opinion, and this will open. Oh, even when the ladder's down. I wasn't expecting that. I thought I would be complaining at the ladder blocking the entrance to the fridge. On the subject of the ladder, I mean, do you have to leave it there? Well, I was in the army, you know, I used to be able to I could have pulled myself up even with full equipment and weapon up there from where I'm sitting now, or from the floor in fact. But not any longer. I don't think if I stood on the table I'd be able to pull myself up, or maybe I would be, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to try it when there's people watching. Let's go to the back of the van. Leather does of course get in the way quite a lot. Here we have a rather elegant drawer system, somewhat reminiscent of La Strada, I'd have to say, and I think it's very nice. La Strada's looks a bit like an office. This I don't think looks like an office. It looks more like a home, and I for one certainly appreciate it. The problem of course with vehicles is always with camper vans is the lack of storage that they can offer, and this does come out quite nicely. So that's a very positive feature in my opinion. Mind you, I do think the sides could be a bit taller. 2 burners, sort of typical camper van layout here, nothing unusual about this. And there's the sink, again the same as they've all got. Now, where this sort of does stand out is how the storage is. Now, as far as one camper van and another, okay, it's on a Fiat Ducato, so you're not, they're all more or less the same as far as the engine's concerned. The place where they really differ is here at the back. And in this case, okay, so we've got here this German layout. You've got storage under there and under there, although this side, of course, it isn't very deep. And the reason for that, no, I can't show you the reason for that because I can't lift that piece up. Let's close this down. It'll give you more of an idea. So there we have it. So it's a lengthwise bed. Somebody put a comment on yesterday, very wise comment. Why don't they have widthwise beds in 736 centimetre long camper vans? And that would give all of this extra space here. All of this extra space, wouldn't it? So we could have more storage here, for example, for those thinking of going away for a long time. Is it that when the camper van is built, they're only thinking of short journeys? Anyway, the manufacturers, that is. Now, one thing that's come from the motorhomes is this feature here to allow into this wardrobe. That, I think, is a very nice feature. Of course, you can't be bothered to do it that way. You can open like this as well. But look, how many other camper vans have a wardrobe like that? I can't think of any off the top of my head. If there are some, write them down below. Carthago Malibu has this these portholes which no one else is doing. Rather original look to it. And show you this. They don't have the blackout and the mosquito nets, which are for the portholes, but for the whole thing. So, and here another feature: storage is actually profiled backwards so that everything doesn't fall out when you open it. Can't see much point in this, but if you're supposed to sleep sort of lengthwise rather than widthwise, then I suppose it does have a bit of a point. There's a step up into the bed, and within the step, as you can see, there's some storage. Now, this is also a bit different. So let's put that there. I'm not certain if it's supposed to stand there like that or not, but okay, let's go inside. This is going to be rather difficult to actually show you. That's me trying to get in. And right, so we've got this tambour door structure. This is where I need a really wide lens, and so this thing here comes around like that, and that is to stop the water going all over the place, and this one comes here like that. Can't see the point of that myself. I think it's taking up too much room, and it's over engineered. Push that back like that. There's not a huge amount of space in here. Turn the thingy inside, and with this closed as well, yeah, I'm trying to get the whole thing in. There's a good view. This comes around there. Okay, that's the first problem. There's a minor problem. That should be bigger, but at least it's one of these things that actually works to stop things falling into the drainage system. Now here, I personally don't like this at all. The problem with, I just feel that this is going to break. I just don't like the idea of a toilet which moves in and out. Now, the thing is, it's a space saving concept. There is obviously room under the bed at the back, which becomes available to make the shower bigger. A friend of mine has one of these. He has not reported any problems. I was at his house last week, and he said, you know, still no problems there. but it's, I suppose if the toilet goes, it's one of them things I just don't want to go at all. I mean, the worst thing, of course, to go is you've got a bed over the driving position. You can't get it up again. That's the congratulations on the biggest problems on the motorhome, as far as I can see. Even if the engine goes, you can still live in it. Anyway, so there's the bathroom. It's very unusual, but it doesn't. I just think it's too. I think there's too many problems with it, in my opinion. That's to protect this. This is like card mixed with cloth, and I think that's meant to be a magnet. Yes, that's meant to be a magnet. Anyway, so I can see there have been problems in that one. And oh, there you go, changing room layout. So you can see what you're supposed to do to get the changing room to work. There's the instructions. Now, I can only say it's called a changing room in the circumstances where you've got your clothing. Well, your clothing's probably down there, and maybe in here, so that does allow for a changing room. But does it allow for a changing room if you can't block it off on the other side? I don't know. This is Carthago's 2-room concept in the camper van. Okay, let's have a look around the back now. So we've got here, as always, this is where the gas goes. That's what you do when these things don't open. So that's nothing unusual there. Here, these dividers were introduced a couple of years ago, and makes a lot of sense. You know, you might have stuff down here such as deck chairs and tables and things like that, and you put other stuff up here. Of course, this whole thing will come out if you want to have it come out. You see here, it's bolted in, these things, and so that will easily come out, as I think I demonstrated. Should you want to put a bike in here, and you can also take that divider down there out as well, so you can do things like that. Also, as you may remember, this was open, and this will also lift up as well. There we go, that lifts up like that to create more space. Oops. And of course, these things here will come out also if necessary, so you can make a really big space here at the back. And these things also will stay up against the walls to create, so you can just knock them down when it's needed. I'll show you a couple of other vans as well while I'm here. Malibu van 600 dB coupe, 63,160. It's a 6-meter vehicle. This is a design that was introduced a couple of years ago as well. Very attractive lighting and similar step up. I looked up the word coupe when I did a video of it in 2019 to get a better idea of what it was trying to say. Also, you can lift these things up here, they'll come up, step up there, very similar other than widthwise bed, and it's got this 2022 look to it with the toilet hidden under there, and this a similar concept, only this one here has got a far more sensible sliding door, even if it does have this tambour setup inside, and the fridge is there. So, Malibu van 640 LE, so this is another 636 centimetre long vehicle, and this is 63,029 euros. Right, so this is same size as the hero of this video, to use the Polish expression, and somewhat similar. Well, it hasn't got a tent in the roof, so I presume the extras are somewhat similar. So it's 12,000 euros cheaper. Drawer down here, sorry, wardrobe down here. There you go, there's a bit of a wardrobe there, and you got these pull-out things here. Pity about that. And as well, got the same setup here, which comes from the motorhomes, which is pretty good. You see, similar. It's on the Fiat Trigano automatic. Right, we now have this thing here, 600 dB at a cost. Well, the base price is 50,000, but well, it's got a manual gearbox, so maybe it is 50,000. Same light there. 6-meter van, widthwise bed. Same toilet. Wet room, I should say. Now I'm at Carthago at the moment, so maybe I can find somebody who wants to give a demonstration of the tambour bathroom and find out the logic behind it. That's very nice, I like that. Short at this side, longer at that side, and I didn't notice until I opened this. Very nice feature to improve the width of the aisle. Good. Here's the back. Now, my first motorhome was a Malibu, and that was on a VW basis and was from 1992. Last week somebody asked me which camper van I'd recommend, so I gave them two companies, Hymer and Malibu. So I did state what I thought. Then I said as an afterthought also La Strada. So I gave three. Good. So there you have a look at this vehicle. I think I've said the good and the bad points about it. And so if you're interested in any more details, there will be, please look at the description, because I sometimes forget things when I'm walking through. But in the description, if I remember anything, I can add it. Thanks very much for watching.